Relevance. We've talked about relevance. Secretary Gates, I think, long before affordability was the big challenge and people recognized what the 12, 13, and 14 budgets would be like, Secretary Gates talked about relevance. And from his point of view, as the Secretary of Defense, we were in the middle of 2 wars. So I can just hear him, don't talk to me about the future peer-level engagement. Talk to me about what we're doing for the troops who are dying in the field today. A noble cause, reasonable thing to do, right? But we had some trouble, I think, as an industry, and maybe even broader than that as a nation, in figuring out where the resources should go to enable us to maintain that deterrence that's been in place for a long time, 70 or 80 years, and we don't want to lose that, right? We don't ever want to have to use the F-22 or a nuclear arsenal, and we do that through deterrence, but we have IEDs and problems in the field today, and how do we support those from a national priorities point of view? Also, I think Secretary Gates did us a favor, and I talked about this a little bit last year, I believe. He helped us understand and define what DoD's requirements were going to be, and he said 50% of what we spend, will be in the area of conventional warfare. 10% will be in the area of irregular warfare, because we have this thing going on called the 3-block war. And 3-block war means in places like Iraq, less so in Afghanistan, but in places like Iraq, I can have 3 kinds of activities going on in a 3-block region. I can have real war fighting going on, humanitarian support, and maybe some kind of aid from a non-government entity going on simultaneously. So 10% are strictly for irregular warfare, and this other 40% is a combined warfare opportunity. So we want things to support both conventional and irregular, right? I think this is a great news story for us, because if you think about most of our programs of record, they live on the right-hand side. They live in that conventional warfare area. So the opportunity for us is to expand through relevance, if you will, to that 90% addressable market that represents both the conventional and that hybrid. And by the way, we also have activities that are going after the 10%, but what you'd like to not feel like you had to do is kind of reshape 50% of the corporation to go after irregular warfare, when in fact it's better to think about relevance.